Is there such a thing as dirty power? Whether your incoming power is above ground or underground, is it worth cleaning your incoming power from EMI and RFI? Well, my experience, and this is just my experience, I always replace my standard out-of-the-box power cable with entry-level or above entry-level power cables. Why, you ask? I've had basic cable out of the box short out a piece of my hi-fi equipment, and it's probably a complete one-off. Since then, as mentioned, I now buy decent power cables. I don't go spending heaps, it's just the entry level. However, if I do use cable that comes in the box, I do test it on another piece of appliance. Now, I do run a power station that cleans all the incoming power, or the power going out is clean from any EMI or RFI, and it gives me a continuous 240 volts, as where I live the power fluctuates quite a bit. Now, I managed to get a mains noise analyzer, and this is what interference I heard straight from the power point in my lounge room where my hi-fi gear is. As you can see in here, it was in the red and it was also picking up quite a bit of interference. Now, let's see what happens when I plug it into a power board that cleans up all the interference. As you can see there, it's cleaned it all up and it's just a nice white noise of just static. You're not hearing any interference, so the power going to my hi-fi equipment is not going to be interrupted with any other frequencies or noise or other interruptions. That's what's going to be going into my hi-fi gear. As an audio enthusiast, I like to get every little bit I can out of my gear. Yes, I'm a bit silly like that. However, if you were to ask me, Concord, I'm looking at spending money on cleaning up my power, or should I spend that money on a new pair of speakers? I'd say to you, get a new pair of speakers. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd say get a new pair of speakers because you're going to notice an audible difference far greater than cleaning up the power. However, if you're hearing a lot of buzz and humming and it's absolutely unimaginably bad, maybe you need to do something with the power and get a power board that cleans all that outgoing power. Some might say this is all BS. I think it's something you have to find out for yourself. Some hi-fi places, I know where I used to work, we sold a lot of power boards and we only had a few returns saying they didn't notice any difference, and that's totally fine. And this is what I say, I don't like to get pretentious about hi-fi gear. It's what sounds good to you. It's all subjective, and my lounge room and my equipment is different to yours, so it's going to sound different, and I get my sound to how I like it, not to the person visiting. But just go with what sounds good to you. But I look at power as something to do when you've got everything where you want it. Kind of like the last, for me anyway, it's kind of like the last bit of upgrade where I'm pretty happy. And when you buy power cables, it's not like you have to replace them. I've got them for good now. It's not like I have to upgrade them. But look, that's where I am with power. But look, thanks for listening. You can also find me on Instagram, and I also have a few movie podcasts that can be found on this channel and on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.